Hey friends, welcome back to my Pokemon Yellow Legacy Let's Play. Last time out we did a bit of underage gambling, freed some lost spirits, and absolutely cooked Erica's Grass-type gym. Today we start out with one of the biggest grind sessions of the game. My Pokemon need some serious levels before I'm ready to challenge Sabrina, so it's time to get to work. We start by clearing out the route south of Lavender, including waking up the sleeping Snorlax and sending it on its way. During this time we get an exciting evolution, as Susan's reaches her final form and evolves into Dodrio. She also learns Drill Peck during this time, which turns her into an absolute physical attacking beast. We clear the western part of this route out, saving the other half for before Koga before heading to Cycling Road. The trainers here are some real scumbags, insulting me at every turn. This dude even calls me a rat, but he has a Raticate in his party. Is he projecting much, man? After I full clear Cycling Road and the bird keepers beneath it, it's time to head to the biggest dungeon in the game, Silph Co. I mentioned earlier that the Rockets have improved in more diverse teams than Legacy, so clearing this place out is actually kinda brutal, especially considering I'm a bit underleveled here since I chose to do Sabrina first. Finishing Silph Co is required before taking on Sabrina, but I need the levels from the trainers here before I stand a chance of taking her on anyways. The Rockets here are also scumbags, though I guess that's to be expected, but this dude also calls me a rat. Maybe there's really something to these rat allegations. I fight every trainer in here since we're currently underleveled and have a flurry of major fights coming up. This takes forever. The Rockets in here are tough and I don't lose any fights to randos, but they deal enough damage and statuses that I'm constantly having to heal. Towards the end of this long grind session though, we are rewarded with something beautiful, as Ron evolves into my favorite Gen 1 Pokemon, Blastoise. With Silph finally fully cleared, it's time for a rival battle, and wouldn't you know it, old Chunder gets one over on us. I didn't look up his team before this, and honestly I played this fight pretty poorly too. Let's go back and heal up and try this with some real strategy. This time the fight goes way better. Jimmy crushes his lead Parasect, and even though Gyarados takes out Ricky Jr. and Ron eventually goes down to his Jolteon, Kimball comes in to finish the job and we make relatively easy work of this fight now that we know what's coming. Next up is another encounter with everyone's favorite bad guys, Jesse and James. Even though they have a victory bell now so Kimball doesn't completely counter them, they still don't put up much of a fight. It's still nice to see some added flavor to these fights in Legacy though. It's time to end Silph by once again challenging Team Rocket's boss, Giovanni. This fight ends up being relatively easy though, as we handle his new Kingler, which gives him some cool type diversity, and the rest of his team doesn't put up much of a fight either. We even managed to take down his signature Persian with its tricked out moveset. Our last stop before Sabrina is the Fighting Dojo, but it's an utter cakewalk as Susan's one-shots every single Pokemon here with Drill Peck. I pick up a Hitmonchan and name it Jackie just in case anybody's wondering. Our final fight of the day is to take on the Psychic-type gym leader, Sabrina. I start the fight by completely and utterly failing my initial strategy. Jimmy knows Nightshade now, which instead of doing set damage like it normally does, is now a 60 power special ghost move. Unfortunately, I completely forgot that all of Sabrina's Pokemon are special tanks, and Jimmy gets crumbled by Abra. Thankfully, we are able to recover, and our strong physical attackers, Susans and Kimball, are able to take out Abra, Mr. Mime, and Kadabra without much issue. Her Alakazam is an absolute beast though, and he slowly starts taking out my team. Thankfully, a timely leech seed from Stinky keeps chip damage up on him, and our final Pokemon Ron is able to take him out, winning us the Marsh Badge. Let's do a quick team recap to wrap up today's episode. We are here, ladies and gentlemen. Our team is fully evolved across the board. We still have a few more moves to learn to polish off our movesets, but the team is looking very close to its final form now. That's all for today's episode. Tune in next time as we adventure into the Safari Zone to find some teeth, and we take on the Poison-type gym leader, Koga. As always, be sure to like, subscribe, and comment on who your series MVP is so far. It's a tough call, honestly. I'm not sure who I would personally go with. Thank you all for tuning in. I'm Point and Rick, and I'll see you all in the next episode.